guys, if you're new here, I'm Sandy. I do crafts of all sorts. If you're joining me again, thanks for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. So, let's get right into it. So we're gonna talk about knitting, crochet, embroidery, sort of Tunisian crochet, something else I bought, some gardening, but we're gonna start with a field trip to see something. Okay, first off, please ignore how messy my guest room is. It's kind of been like the catch-all, we're still moving place. But what's important here, guys? Look, it's blocking. It still needs, I want it to kind of maybe dry out over the weekend. But now all I need to do is embroider the faces on all of these. So the buttons on, which I bought the other day. Guys, we're getting there. It's almost done. Yeah, it looks so good blocked. I noticed that the linen I bought for this, I need to cut it in half and sew a seam down the middle. Not fussed about that. It's not a big deal. I'll just do a quick little French seam and then quilt it all. But oh my god, guys. I mean, if you've been here a while, you know how long I've been working on this. And it just, when I look at it, I like want to cry in happiness. It's so amazing. Right? I am so happy we're getting somewhere with it. Like, it just... So I ended up, well, it'll be in acquisitions. I'm so excited. Like, I am... Yeah, and especially looking at the three of them together, it's so damn cute. I have enough yarn. I think maybe, I don't know, I might attempt to crochet the teddy bear, but then I'm also kind of like, no, call it like, I still need to embroider all the faces. I still need to do so much. So yeah, like I said, I'm just going to block it. I'm going to let it go. I'm going away for the night Friday. So yeah, I'm just going to let it sit. It's just not, it's at that point where it's like, almost completely dry, but I want it to be completely dry, especially when I'm gonna go be embroidering it. Like, I was tempted to embroider before I blocked it, but then I thought, no, things may shift. And my friend, who's much better at knitting than me, agreed that that was the right call. So yeah, so that's really exciting. But of course, as soon as that was blocked, I needed a new project. You know, so I did work a little bit on this. So what I'm doing here is I could not for the life of me find double-stranded sock blanks anywhere. And it was just after Brexit, so I'm sure somewhere in Europe has them now. So basically what I did is I just took a bunch of blank sock yarn and did it myself. Because if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. I split them into a bunch of 50-gram balls. So I'm slowly doing that. I'm taking the train when I'm going on Friday, so I might end up bringing these and doing more. But yeah, so that's just literally straight up a big piece of stockinette. Not very exciting, but it's something I'm doing. I'm doing like the dye class on Crafty, and I'm at the point where it's like time to actually hand paint sock blanks. And you know, sometimes, oh my goodness, there is a tangle here. Sometimes you just gotta put up with it and yarn all in the same natural, fun, undyed color. Okay, so speaking of the next knitting project, so I was really anxious to cast something new on, and I found a bunch of this, like 7 balls of this Debbie Bliss Rialto lace. Well, I found 4. I thought I found 6, which would mean I have 9. I found a lot. That might change things. Okay, no, not really. I found a lot of this guy, so I decided, okay. I decided I was going to make a set, because I'm at the point too where I think I'm going to take apart a lot of stuff I've made, because I want things to have a matching, like, headband or hat and scarf, at least. If it has gloves, even all the better. So I thought, okay, I'll make a set, and, I don't know why. I mean, I got sort of far, not really at all on the scarf. I got pretty far on the hat. And I do like these, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna dye them no matter what I do, because I just don't know if this is the ideal color for me. You know what I mean? I don't think it makes me sing. But I don't know. There's just something about it. I'm like, do I really like this? Like, do I really enjoy it? I enjoyed this where it's held together on the hat, and I just don't know if I'm loving this fabric. So I am kind of in a thing, but then I think, okay, maybe it's just because I don't like the color. You know, I'm having this whole like crisis, and then I find 3 more balls. So I think the total is 7. It may be more. I just have to double check. And I thought, you know what? Am I doubting this? So I started looking up, because 7 balls of lace weight yarn is a sweater's quantity for me. Like just, but it is. And the thing is for me, I don't think I'll be in the financial position to have much more sweater weight quantities of yarn. Like, I do have a lot of sweater, that's probably why I'm in the financial situation I am in, but no, I have like, so I have a sweater I'm halfway through. I have another sweater that I have all the yarn. I've done the gauge swatch. I've started a couple times, but I think I just wasn't in the right space to do it. So I need to, well, I really want to knit that because it's beautiful. I have a sweater quantity of yarn for Adam. These 3, by the way, do not know where they are. They're in a box somewhere. I know that much for sure. So I have 3 sweaters on the go, and I have this. So that's 4 sweaters. I do actually need sweaters. I'm kind of redoing my entire wardrobe. I found out my kitty bee body type. I found out my color seasons. Soft dramatic. I'm in between kind of a deep autumn and a deep dark winter. So I found kind of the common colors. And my official color palette now is my kind of neutrals are burgundy and cheetah print, which is a neutral. And yeah, and my kind of secondaries are jewel tones, like deep saturated jewel tones, which I've always looked good in. This was not a surprise to me, honestly, once I found it. I do think I skew autumn more, especially I'm trying to get my hair, I'm going to try it like this tone, but 1 shade darker. So yeah, which is pretty much just my natural hair color. Don't tell my mother. She'd be an absolute pill about it. But anyway, so we have determined these things, and I mean, a lot of my clothes I've had for a really, really long time, and that's not a bad thing. It's good that I've had my clothes for a long time and they're still wearable. It's because I treat my things reasonably well. Like even this, I've had this probably, I had it before I met Adam, probably almost 10 years at this point. Like it's, you know, and it's reasonable for me, especially, I mean, 10 years ago I was 23, so that's a very different time in my life than now. My clothes will have different functions. Yeah, the thing I'm confused the most about, if we're talking about like body types and stuff, is my Kitchener essences. Because I feel like I have a very ingenue essence. I feel like I definitely have probably a natural essence. I'm sorry if this is really boring for you, by the way, but it's somewhat relevant. I don't know. Anyway, essences confuse me. So I'm just kind of like figuring it out. So I need new clothes, basically. Like I have a bunch of clothes that I don't really love. Especially with this move, I've been getting rid of stuff at like an unprecedented rate. Like I don't know, I'm just at the point where if it doesn't serve me, like I deserve to not feel dumpy in my clothes. I deserve to feel good when I'm dressed and feel like I look my best. So I do actually need sweaters. And also I just found a stain on this yarn. So that will probably have to come out and get cut out. Okay, anyway. So yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna dye this anyway, so is it that big of a deal? But basically, I've just decided I don't want to have clothes I don't like anymore. So I need some new stuff. I need some stuff that reflects where I am in my life now, the climate I live in now, which if you asked me a couple weeks ago would be a very different one. We're in a huge cold snap right now, and I love it. It's my fave. But anyway, I'm even thinking about taking apart a lot of my stuff, and if it doesn't have a matching headband, because it's fine when I'm just like going to walk the dog and I just need like a quick scarf, and I have a few that I'm going to keep, or I just need just a hat. But I mean, I feel better when my scarf and my hat or my headband match, and it's really not that hard it's not that unreasonable. Like, you could probably get a scarf and a headband out of 2 skeins of yarn. So, you know, I think I'm at the point where I used to make me and Adam a set every winter. I say used to, like I did it all the time. I think I did it 2 years in a row, where it was hat, scarves, mitts if I finished them. Don't think I ever finished a pair of mitts for Adam. But, you know, we're going to get there. So I'll make him that. And I think I want to get back into that, where every winter we get like a nice matching set. I invest in good quality yarn. And that's, or I mean, I use yarn I already have, because let's face it, I have a stash. But yeah, so anyway, how often will I have sweater quantity yarn? I mean, more often than I thought at this point, it's looking like, but I might as well use it for a sweater. So I found a pattern I like, I think. I'm going to see, because I want something that kind of fits me now, but also will look good oversized. Because when we were living in Cork, I was, like, when I'm depressed, I gain weight, and when I'm not, I lose weight. And I was really bad in Cork. So I gained a lot of weight, and now I'm just naturally shedding a lot of it, because I'm not lying in bed crying all day anymore. Like, you know? So, yeah, so I do need some new stuff, but I want stuff that will look good now, and, you know, realistically, it takes me a year to finish the sweater, so when I finish it. And my other 2 sweater projects, one will look better, but again, no idea where the yarn is. So this one, I think I might have found a pattern, but I'm not 100% sure. So stay tuned next week for that. But it is a nice yarn. I mean, it's merino wool superwash, so it's going to take dye so well. And I've never knit something and then dyed it, so I'm actually really excited. I think too, I'm doing it that way, because that way if I have anything extra, I can do something different with it and do it in a different color. Sorry, I'm just having some tea. I'm so tired. I don't know. And it's so cold. But yeah, so that's knitting. Stay tuned to find out. I don't understand how this yarn got so stained. I think alcohol may be a factor in that incident. No, because I was sitting there having a drink the other night. And I think I might have spilled and I didn't realize it. So anyway, that's knitting. We'll see what happens there. For crochet, I'm caught up in my temperature blanket. Yeah, we're having a bit of a cold snap, so it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. This was so nice. I was catching up on it completely last night. So nice to have in my lap. Oh my goodness, this wool is so warm. So this is, it's just called Temperature Blanket. It's by Wool and Hook, and it is in Drops Karisma. I'm making it, which is a superwash wool. I wanted superwash because obviously blankets, you want to be able to wash them. Just in case, you know. But also I wanted wool because I do want like a functional cozy blanket. Yeah, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I mean, it's only March and it's like, I mean, it's starting to get past the point where it could be a scarf, you know? Like before, when it was about half this, it could kind of be a scarf, but now it's kind of like, ooh, this is an unfinished blanket, which I'm excited about. I've always wanted to do this. Yeah, if you want to start one, honestly, like you could do it for your birthday. I talked about this last week. You could do it for your birthday. Just pick any date, or wait till next year. Do it. It's so cool. So you do a different kind of assigned yarn for the temperature of every day. And yeah, I really love it. I'm happy with it. Yes, that's that. For embroidery, I've actually finished something. So unfortunately I don't have a link for it. It's Creaky Press used to do Sampler Club, which I'm still really salty that she finished it. I understand for her life she had to, but man, same week as Wine Club it got cancelled and it was just a sad time. But I finished this one. I realized why I ran out of yarn. It was my fault, not hers. It was because I was using 2 for all of these guys when I should have been using 1 strand. But it's so cute and again, perfect for this cold snap because very topical. But again, this is just me being happy I finished something. Man, as soon as that went to block, like I had a day of just extreme productivity. It was wild. I'll do craft acquisitions and then gardening. So I went to the shop and that's where I got the extra yarn to finish this because I ran out of the pink and I ran out of the blue. And I needed to get, oh no. I have to go back to the shop because they only gave me 2 buttons for my nephew's sweater. And I thought I said 3. Oh man, that's annoying. Did it get, anyway, I mean, is it annoying? I have to go back to the craft shop. Oh, what a shame. I also needed one of these because I'm going to embroider on the back of the linen lining his name. So these are washable erasable marking pens, and they're so good. They just disappear with water. Like, you just do whatever you want, embroider over it, throw it under some water, and it magically all comes out. Like, this is honestly what you need if you embroider. And then I got the thread for his embroidered name, obviously. It's just DMC 801, because I thought the brown would look good with the cute little embroidered faces. And then I was ruffling around in my embroidery stuff, putting the other yarn, because I have, like, for the project I'm working on, I have a pencil case somewhere. I really honestly need to get on unpacking. It's kind of ridiculous at this point, but what can you do? So I was getting that and I was putting it in, and I saw that I actually did have some brown yarn, or brown thread, and I got so mad that I went and I ordered this. So this is just, I got it on Amazon for really cheap. I think it was 11 quid. It came with this and these little dividers move. I used to have a bunch like this for beads. I don't recommend something like this for small beads, to be honest. Get something that's like molded, because the ones you take out, I find the beads always escaped. But it came with all, this is not beads, this is floss. It came with a bunch of bobbins, and it even came with little sticker labels. There you go. It's up there, you can see, so you can label which ones. But what I have mostly are these little like creaky press leftovers. Because again, that's why it was so weird. Like, this is how much floss I usually have left over. That's why it was so weird that I was like, how did I run out? But again, it was my fault. So yeah, so I can finally get this under control. I do like to label it in case I'm working on a pattern where I want exactly what they have. But for, I am saying a lot today. I am sorry about that. And if I'm aware of it, it must be really, really bad. But for stuff, like even the blanket I'm making, I'm probably going to use one of these browns before I dip into that, because if I don't really need a super, also I think I like this one a little better than the one I bought. If I don't need a super specific color, then like I just want that color and I don't need a lot of it, then it's good to have that, and there's no point in wasting perfectly good embroidery floss. So this guy really saves the day. I also, when I got close, I found my fabric scissors. So once I set the iron up, I might actually start quilting, if you're wondering what's happening with that. Honestly, let me tell you, finding my fabric scissors. Stressful life without those guys. I thought my next move, not making a lace weight sweater, I don't know, I'm going insane. I thought my next move would be learning Tunisian crochet. So I bought, again, I just got these off Amazon because I wanted, for the record, I do hate buying off Amazon. I really do. But it's what I can afford for something like this right now. You know, I want to spend money on good yarn. But also for something like Tunisian crochet, all I could find locally were interchangeable hooks, which I'm not opposed to, especially since they'll work with my like cords, which is really great. But for something I've never done before that I'm not sure if I'm gonna like and continue on, I wanted to just get something sort of cheap. I wanted to get something varied. So I got these, I got the fixed hooks, and even like knitting, I do actually prefer working with straight needles. I like working with fixed things. So yeah, so I got these guys, and I didn't put you back, right? But yeah, Tunisian crochet is hopefully something, it's something I want to start this year. It's on my vision board, and there's a crafty class, so I need a, I just need the yarn now. And then on our big shopping day out, honestly, I haven't shopped in so long that it was bad, but they were doing 70% off all the Christmas kits, and I needed, I'm going to Greece next month for my friend's wedding, and I wanted just some like little body wash things. So I thought, like, you know, body wash, body lotion and scrub, and then if I can get face stuff and, like, you know, travel minis. So I figured, okay, we'll go into Boots and look, and I just happened to wander upstairs because I was looking to see if they had another attachment for my curling iron, which they did, but it was 2 for $3 and they didn't have 3, so I was like, ah, 2, but as if I'm not gonna get that one free. You know what I mean? So I looked and I saw that they had 70% off all the leftover Christmas stuff. I found a bath bomb kit. Not only did I find I also found my minis and everything. So I haven't opened this yet, but I've been looking for bath bomb mold because I finally have a bathtub again. Thank God. But I found the whole kit. I haven't been able to find like a mold that looks good for a reasonable price. For some odd reason, they've gotten very, 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 I don't know, they've just gotten expensive. But this entire kit came for $5 because it was 70% off all the extra Christmas stock. So yeah, it was just, you know, I got face masks. I got like 6 face masks for like $4. Just ridiculous. I love when Christmas sets go on sale because you can get really good stuff, especially if you want to try something. So yeah, so I'm gonna make some bath fizzes, and yeah, for the price of the mold, basically I got a kit that makes 2, which is really, really good. So I was happy with that. Yeah, so that's crafts. For gardening, I'm so excited. These guys germinated. Well, 2 of them did. The orange scented thyme and the basil have sprouts. So we're just waiting on the other 2. I spritzed them with water today because, the other 2, oh, there's a few extra sprouts in the basil. Good. Yeah, this is my gin cocktail garden. Yeah, so it's really good. I'm happy with that. That little kit brought me so much joy for no good reason. And I also started some of my seeds. Basically, I went grocery shopping and a lot of the shelves were bare and fruit and veg has gotten so expensive that I just got super motivated. We decided we're going to put the most effort into renovating our deck this, like our little balcony this year so that we can get a garden going, because I really miss gardening. I've given up, honestly, on trying to get an allotment. I've emailed them so many times. I never got a response back, so I'm going to make my own little balcony farm. Even though I want an allotment. But what can you do? So I am doing, to start my seeds, since a few of our seeds are a bit older, I'm not sure how many of them are viable and what's going to go on. So I used to do this a lot with my seeds. My Nonna, who is totally green-handed at this point, said this is a good way to do when I told her when I first found it, because I found some really old seeds at my parents' place. My Nonna said to start doing this. I think it's called hydroponic germination because I was talking to a plant person about it, but we both had a few drinks, so I don't know. So basically what you do is you take your seeds. This is 4 Seasons lettuce. I got crisp pad lettuce in here, and you just make like a little paper towel pocket and spritz it with some water. Now you want this to be pretty damp, and just pop your seeds in, and you want it to be damp and dark, and eventually, hopefully, if the seeds are viable, they'll sprout, and then as soon as they sprout, you need to get them into soil right away. And so basically what it's doing is it's making sure I'm always planting viable seeds. Like I said, a few of these are a couple years old, so it's not, I mean, okay, look, fresh seeds are better. No one's disputing this, but in my experience, you can get perfectly good things from old seeds a lot of the time. Maybe the germination rate's just a lot lower. So if you do it this way, it's good. Also, I have a tendency to overplant. First off, I have very bad spatial awareness. So, I think I have all the space in the world, but I don't. And I think this is where my garden in Cork really failed, because I thought, oh, look at all the space I have. And I didn't actually think about how much space I actually had, you know? So I'm trying not to do that now. I'm only going to plant like 1 of each plant. Like I don't need 5 tomato plants. I don't have space for 5 tomato plants. I didn't in Cork either, but Damn, I did. Because part of the thing too with sprinkling them in a thing is I hate pulling out the little seedlings. I feel like I'm killing a baby or something. I don't know. Like I can't. It makes me so sad. And I know that you need to pull out the little ones so that the stronger ones can grow stronger, but can't do it. I think that's why I'm so suited to herb gardening, because herbs you can have like a lot of seeds in one. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a little more strategic, and yeah, so hopefully starting them this way will work. They're a little dry, so I'm probably going to give them a spritz of water now. But yeah, and then I have enough wine bottles that I want to start experimenting with my planters, but I can't find my gas mask or my goggles anywhere. They're with my dye stuff. No idea where my dye stuff went. So I think this might be the week I actually really put effort into unpacking. But yeah, well, so I say, watch me here next week saying the exact same thing. I don't know, I just hate unpacking, it's the worst. But anyway, that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Give me your opinion on the whole sweater thing. I mean, the thing too is as soon as I picked up that knitting, it all fell off the needles anyway, so I'm taking that as a sign. Like, that's just, it needs to be a sweater. Yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you've ever tied your seeds this way. And yeah, just let me know what you think in general, what you're making, how you're doing. And we'll talk to you hopefully next week. Bye.